All right, folks, welcome back, everyone. 欢迎大家回来。今天是第410天。It is day 410. Yesterday we were being pretty laxed, right? I think we're good to go. Let's get right into our lessons. Lesson level up day is actually today in Wanikani, so we do lessons after HanziHero. It'll be interesting. Alright, let's get into here.
驼兽
I think we're gonna do maybe like 150 to keep the stack down for views today. 驼兽 let's see, 驼兽 驼 How did 驼 work? Okay. Show. Interesting. The beast of burden. That's interesting. This is carrying, so it's kind of like burdensome. A pack animal. Oh, okay. I see.
驼兽凤梨酥
凤梨酥. Oh, hey, I just had pineapple cake. Like for the New Year's pineapple cake. 凤梨酥. 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 Interesting. I can kind of see it. Sort of. Us pair. I pair. And then... Oh, hey. Haven't ever used Su until now. Oh, no, wait. There might have been another use. Never mind. It's the only one. Dang. I guess I kind of see it.
凤梨酥
Su is really weak. Just introduced so early on without an example. He is kind of weak too. Fun is very
煎蛋
strong. Tian Dan. Okay, fried egg makes sense.
煎蛋四件
四件 4件 Or spatter. Oh, okay, in every direction.
四件勘察
勘察 survey, examine, survey, or investigate.
勘察驼兽勘察
Sun is weak. Ian is kind of weak.
煎蛋
What? Oh, at the wrong tone for 四.
凤梨酥四件
Okay.
压榨
Ja. Press and then extract. Ja is kind of weak.
压榨，推波助澜，
推波助澜，推 drag no push 推波 wave 助澜 assist and 澜 wave again to add fuel to the fire. Interesting. I think the same thing is to push the waves so that you can assist each wave to become larger. Intriguing. 推波助澜，
推波助澜，捶背，
捶背，捶背 thump back, thump the back. Maybe like something. Is it the thing where, yeah. It's also that motion too.
捶背，背寒，
背寒 makes sense.
背寒，背位，
背位. Okay, yeah, way is proper noun too.
背位，
Okay.
压榨，背寒，推波助澜，捶背，背位，前缀，
前缀. Oh boy. J is weak. Yeah, J is pretty weak. Okay. Despite being the only character with 4 identical radicals like this, prefix makes sense though. In front, and then you like sew the word together.
前缀，枪道，
枪道，枪 which 枪 is this? 枪 choke, 枪道, and then arrive or happen. So choke on. Okay.
枪道，唉声叹气，
哀声叹气. I sigh 声, so that's sighing. 叹气 sighing. Double sighing. Sigh repeatedly. Okay.
唉声叹气，郁，
Yeah. Oh my goodness, that is a monster. Depressed. I mean, I would be too if I saw that character. I'm kidding. Yeah. Man. Wait, can we extract a U from this? No. See, this is where I'm gonna get complacent. I think this is where, if I had to illustrate how people can get complacent about relying on differences and generalities, it would be something like this. So, to illustrate. Oh boy. Anyways, hang on.
前缀，枪道，枪道，唉声叹气，唉声叹气，玉，
So, like for example, to illustrate this one, right? Actually, there's no word example, but the idea is that if you recognize that this is unique, then the brain, in my opinion, to save time, you pick out enough things, probably like this, and like one other thing. You pick up the minimum amount of thing to make sure it's unique. Then you assign it to that word, right? And that's kind of how mnemonics work, honestly. Like the fastest way to make a mnemonic work is you pick out just enough in the mnemonic in order to know what it is. But the thing about visualizing this is that what makes Chinese script, right? Chinese script potentially have scalability problems. Like when people have scalability problems, which I'm currently addressing all the time, is that at some point, if the script is so filled with combinations, you can have something that simply if they just changed up this radical right here and kept the rest the same, you would not have enough resolution to know which one's which. And this is getting to the big cluster. So if someone say like this is 1 part, 2 part, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, this would be really like, I would say this would be an above average number of unique things. But then the mind will try to cluster these. So then you can call this one 1, and you can call the bottom one 2, right? So then when you see these two, then it has to be depressed and it has to be you. The problem with this is now if you have this structure 1 and 2, if you have something complicated, like, I don't know, we'll go with something like, oh, actually, it doesn't even have to be that complicated. It could be something like, I'm just making up a character to make it seem a little bit more comparable. Like this. Then if you're reliant on simplifying 1 and 2, and you see 1 and 2, then these things all become convoluted because there's not going to be enough resolution between these two. So that how I'm coming to this observation is that's what I do when I say there's a chance I can become complacent here. And the thing about being complacent is using your visual cortex to generalize. And you don't really need to do any resolution if, say, for example, if you try to write this. The way you visualize and group things will greatly impact how you write things when you output writing. Just because you can input this right? And this is a little bit of a contentious point. I disagree that input looking at this will be sufficient to get your output in writing. I think they're connected for sure. They're definitely connected and it would assist in writing. I don't think it's sufficient. Largely because of visualization, how visualization works. If you want to test this, do an artwork. Like draw something. I mean, you've seen a lot of trees, right? Maybe you walk outside and you see the same tree every day. The tree in your front lawn, right? Go draw it. And then you can test how well you generalize to make things incredibly efficient, right? You know what a tree is when you see it. You don't know how to draw a tree. Like what I mean is you don't know how to draw that tree, that specific tree. And this is kind of the example. Super, like a lot of times when people say super complicated things, right? Like this is super complex. The funny thing is there's a paradox here, or somewhat of a paradox, of if you're not thinking about it in a process-oriented way. This is easy to remember through input. It's very difficult to output. One of the things about super complicated things is super complicated things come with very specific and unique things that make it distinctive. So distinction makes it very easy to recognize and memorize, but it is not easy to output because it itself is very complicated. And I've done this before with multiple characters, and since I'm in the process of writing these things, I enjoy writing these things, and when this becomes a problem and I go to write it, I'm probably gonna have to review the parts in it. It's a really interesting feeling that happens a lot. So like I have no reservations that I will remember that this character means depressed, because the odds of this character showing up that is not distinctive from every other character, like I doubt there's anything close. We can even use the most common. Tree is probably the most common radical of these 7, right? And then if we look at tree, right, you scan all of these trees like really fast. This is how fast I'm scanning, obviously. If you go up and down several times, you have no concern that there's anything that's going to be close to this character at the time, right? Like this character itself just stands out. So when you're scanning and you're going left and right, it's so easy to pick out which one it is. And that's kind of what I'm illustrating as the power of association. So association is really powerful in terms of, whoops, my hand kind of spazzed. So association produces contrast, right? And it also produces similarities. And oftentimes, when it comes to remembering things, I think a substantial number of people, I would say greater than 50%, would predominantly use like an 80% reliance on contrast. This would be an easy character. Despite, in my opinion, despite people thinking that complex stuff equals hard to remember, as in hard to recognize. Not the same as hard to use. Hard to use is a whole different story because that involves outputting, but it's often complicated things are easy to recognize because you have shortcuts. They're often easy to recognize, largely because it's focused on contrast. For me, I still think contrast is easier as well. I agree with most people, like their habits, but I actually spend most of my time doing similarity comparisons. The reason why I do that is because it helps me appreciate the nuances. So when you contrast, it's less nuanced. Like, not that it's objective. This isn't objective. Because you can find objective reasons for both. Subjectively, when you use contrast as a form of remembering things through association, it has less nuance. When you're looking at things based on their similarities, they typically have more nuance. So what I mean by that is, if you're comparing this character if you're asking yourself, everywhere it is, then you're trying to create similarities. And then because you're starting with similarities, you require nuance to remember them. So if you click on this, right, this is what I do predominantly as I'm scaling up. In order to remember where this is, I ask myself, okay, what else has these radicals? So then I look on it based on their similarities. And this is inefficient, technically. It's inefficient because contrast is always going to be it's, in my opinion, subjectively more efficient. But if you look on the similarities, now you're forced to look at the differences, but all of them will have that similarity in line. The alternative is you can ask yourself, okay, what's not there, right? A lot of things are not there. And if that thing that's not there is going to help you remember it, then it's easier to remember one thing, the one thing that is not there. And if that's enough to get you to remember that thing, you only have to remember one thing, right? And this isn't a great example. Like, for example, you could say, this is not there, right? And then it won't help you remember this. It's when you think of it in a larger pool is when it becomes more efficient. It's easier to remember something that's not there because it's a point of contrast versus all of them having the thing and then trying to find the difference based on all of them having the thing. So for example, like if you look at animals and I said, I don't know, an eagle, a swallow, and a cat. The cat is contrastive, while the eagle and swallow are birds. So the categorization of birds would give you the idea of distinguishing between an eagle and a swallow. They would be closer by association, but you can group them and you're like, okay, next time when I remember birds, I could either say eagle or swallow. But in order to know which one it is, eagle or swallow, you would have to know the nuance between them. Meanwhile, if all you're responsible for is remembering the 3 list, cat is easy to remember because it's contrastive. It's not the other 2. So this helps you group things together. But then grouping things together requires that you understand the nuance to remember all the things within the group. When a thing stands alone and is contrastive, it has fewer things to remember. It's simply seen as one thing. And I don't know how to illustrate this yet, or an exercise to kind of work on this for like other people. Like I want to come up with some metaphors or some analogies or example problems to help with, in my opinion, to promote how to create nuances while you're simultaneously creating groups, because that's, in my opinion, what addresses the scaling problem. of these characters. It's not the same as alphabets, right? When we're talking about the alphabet, your nuance is based on recurring groups. So it's kind of like this, actually, in some way. Like in alphabet, these guys are all under alphabets. And then to distinguish between them is to know that they are different from each other in this way. Like an A looks like an A B looks like a B, and a C looks like a C. But then when you combine them to do something, right, like a car or a bar, right, where now you have two things, now you're combining these as a similar thing, and then you're testing this. Scripts are even more dynamic because they're denser than phonetics. So in a way, all of these things are still related. The idea is how well can you group something that is similar and then observe the differences versus something like a car is going to be different from a train because they are substantially different from each other. That this contrast is a lot more noticeable. So this requires gross differences. When things are similar, they require nuanced differences. I think for the most part, it's not that one is harder than the other. I think this just happens to be the normal thing to do. It's very difficult to objectively think. Like, what I mean is, it's hard to objectively measure the subjective nature of whether this is harder or this is easier or vice versa. The difficulty in objectively measuring a subjective thing is that this is based on experience, and it's so difficult to like decouple once you're any age, really. Like maybe early childhood, that might be some objective way to measure this, but my first thought is, well, what do we know now? Most people normally, right, I want to put in quotes, normally, so the highest frequency of practice on the internet, right, on the net, is to provide contrast. Legitimately, most conversations, whenever you do a quote-unquote, I make this comment all the time, when you do comparative analyses, I'm being very generous here. I don't think people do comparative analyses. They actually simply state contrast. So like, for example, a product A has X. Product B doesn't. Right, doesn't have X. And that's it. That's how they do comparative analyses, which is not appropriate, in my opinion. It's unprofessional. It's great for colloquial speak. Like, you can cut to the chase, right? When you talk to someone, it's like, I don't know, this game is bad because it has X. This game is good because it doesn't have this X. And this X could equal the problem. And then, like, the thing that they find disagreeable. Or X could be the advantage, the feature, right? Then you can argue this game is good because it has X. It has that feature. And the other game is bad because it doesn't have that feature. That's how the internet works, in my opinion. That's what net speak, net logic works. It's the presence and absence of something. But comparative analysis is not that. That's not comparative analysis to me. Comparative analysis is you take the whole of X or not the whole of X. You take the comprehensiveness of A and you compare it with B. So that means that no matter what, how this is tied to this, no matter what, you have to also know what they're similar in order to highlight the differences. So if you're not comparing what exists in both systems, because when you're comparing something, it must have a point of comparison, as in comparison and contrast. So there's a reason to relate these two. For example, they're both video games, right? They're both video games. That would imply that categorically they would have something similar. First, they would have more things in common likely than they are differences. When you're on the net and you need to hustle, it's easy to focus on differences while not paying attention to their similarities. So whenever someone says like, oh, game A sucks because it doesn't have X, right? And game B doesn't suck because it does, right? It does have X. And then you step back and you think, what does comparative analyses tell you? Well, game A and game B are 98% overlapping. That this is just a hypothetical. Like, you might find out that, oh, they overlap 98% of the time, and the thing you're focused on is the 2%, right? Like, maybe it's a feature that happens once in a game. Like, once it, like, A might have had this feature applied for like 3% of the game. Then technically it's skewing all your ability to create a cogent argument, because much like this character, for example, the difference between A and B could be one of the radicals, or it could be all of them except one. And since people don't focus on comparative analyses, you can't appreciate the significance. Like, I'm not saying 2% is insignificant. 2% could be significant. You don't know because you're not doing a comparative analysis. You're looking at 2%, or you're looking at some sort of unknown percentage of the whole of 100%. So to me, that's a really long digression, but the long digression here is there's a very good chance that I won't be able to output this character for some time, despite knowing what it looks like. And I think, to me, this is a hot take. One of the biggest counter arguments for me personally, I think this is the most provocative counter arguments to the benefits, quote unquote, the benefits. And this is of not practicing output. And I know this is a little bit redundant because practicing is output, or practicing overlaps with output. The idea here is there's a really strong hot take about, oh, well, if you keep looking at this, it will be sufficient for output, right? And I can kind of argue that. Like, I can kind of still say, yeah, for sure, it would be sufficient, as long as it's greater than 1%, right? Whenever someone say sufficiency, as long as someone out there can demonstrate to me that if they keep inputting this, it'll be sufficient for output. They're connected, so of course there's going to be a confirmation of it existing. Now, whenever they talk about sufficiency, you're talking about like maybe like a majority, right? And we place the majority at 50%. I disagree. Like, I don't think this is sufficient. Like if we arbitrarily say, for most people, if you stare at this character and keep inputting this character, it'll somehow magically produce output. I disagree. Now, I can agree if someone says as long as there's one person out there who can do it, then it's sufficient. By all means, I agree too. When you cherry pick and when you do like arbitrary statistical picking, you're going to find examples of it. That's the nature of spuriousness, right? I don't think the majority of people will be able to do this, like do this character without outputting it. They will most definitely still be able to input it though, in some way. Okay, I'm kind of being a little stickler here. When I mean output, I'm talking about like writing it. Because speaking it is also another thing too. And then reading it sort of in a understanding way, comprehension, I get it too. You can probably get that. I'm specifically talking about writing here. The outputting in a writing thing. Anyways, it's interesting. All right. Something that had been intriguing me for some time now as my character size, the pool of my character size continue to expand. This is probably the most intricate. If this one is unique too, that would be probably the most. Technically, there are only 6 radicals that I can see. Like I would use 6 radicals here. But then I would cluster it into 3 radicals. And then I would cluster it into 2 radicals. So I would try to separate them in 3 distinct things. Right? So the one way is 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then it would be condensed into 1, 2. This middle part is 2. This top part is 1. And this bottom part is 3. Right? And then you can combine probably these 2 into 1 and 2. And those are my levels in order to create enough resolution for them. I don't rely on the bottom level because it requires the most output. However, if you can link these, then most of the time you can practice the 2-1, which is what I would think most people will naturally do. When they look at this, they're going to naturally separate the characters this way. Largely because this kind of looks like a bar, a divider bar. So there is a chance that some people might look at it as a pedestal, so they would lump this and then whatever's underneath as 2. And then you can separate these guys into separate units. This is a great character to demonstrate script, the Chinese script complexity. And then how you remember things. All right. Now that we got that out of the way. So Yugi is in the bathroom of the house where he is feeling depressed. Yugi always do be getting the emotion side of things. He sits on the toilet stirring a clay pot. Okay. Clay pot full of his hair. Alright. With a spoon. While looking depressed. Okay. When he is done on the toilet, he goes over to a small ornamental tree in the corner. In the corner near the sink and makes a pit and pushes and puts his clay pot of depression inside it, then covers it and makes it and marks it with an X. This is an ancient card master trick to cure depression. Oh, word. Okay. It's missing something. Oh, it's missing the dots inside. Yeah, it's missing the drops inside here. What does the... I want to look at salt shaker. Okay. I kind of want to simplify this or group this differently. So we're gonna use... Okay, I got it. So let's look at Yugi bathroom house. He is trying to prepare an ancient medicinal concoction for his next outing. It's a remedy to help combat depression and raise spirits. He takes he has a clay pot and added Yep. Okay. He added a bunch of ingredients. With some water from the bathroom faucet, along with a couple strands of his hair, and mixed it with a spoon. Mix it with a wooden spoon and a dash of salt from the salt shaker. From a salt shaker. In order to produce, yeah, that's fine. Maybe like a medicinal ward. Okay. So I wanted to get rid of this part. So this part right here, I'm converting it into a salt shaker. Because it reminds me of a modified salt shaker. This is really unique to this combination. So instead of having to worry about this, and they lumped away a crown as well. They moved away from crown. So here's the clay pot. This is the wooden spoon, and then the lock of hair. So that's fewer things to remember. Still gonna be a really tough time to remember how to write the character though.
玉胶
Jiao. Looks like a Jiao. Right hand, Jiao. And then email. Jimmy Neutron is in front of the barn where he has been hired by the owner to make an attractive tower. Okay. Jimmy uses his scientific know-how to build a huge tower of an attractive woman. That's funny. However, in reality, the woman tower is not that attractive because Jimmy's just a kid. Okay. I mean, that's okay. Best.
交
Okay.
前缀交玉
What? Oh, whoops. I wrote the wrong tone for ton. Oh no, wrong tone for Dao.
唉声叹气腔道
Alright, next one.
冠
Guan. Does look like a guan to some extent. Right hand. Right hand is the guan. Jar. Okay, stork in a clay pot. Goofy's in the bathroom, punch out, going to the bathroom. Suddenly a stork flies through the window and gives Goofy a vintage secondhand clay pot. Goofy accidentally drops it on the tile and it shatters, revealing a glass jar that is within. That's kind of weird, but sure. Kind of goofy. A drink can. Ilan Guan. Oh, Ila Guan. Ila Guan. Easy holding jar. Okay. Guanzi. Okay.
冠词
Ci. Oh, hey, magnet. Okay. Got the butterfly and stone. Casper is inside the living room of the house where he is trying to create a magnet. He puts a stone on the coffee table and then puts a special ghost butterfly on top of it. Sure enough, the stone turns into a magnet. Okay. Magnet's kind of tough. Definitely tell. And it's not, it ended up not being G or T. Ci. Because of Japanese magnet. Hmm. Special ghost butterfly, I suppose. I don't have any more related to it. Cika. Magnet card. Card. Nice. Dai. Tape. Fair enough. I imagine you can stick magnetic in front of those things.
词边
Or magnet. Bien. There's bien. Like convenience. In fact, I might actually use convenient. Despite. Am I crazy? Wait, which character did I click on? Yeah, bien. Yeah, we're gonna use convenient. Largely because I want to be able to distinguish it from gun. Or gun? Oops. Gun. Gun. It's alright. Alright. So, Bigfoot. Bigfoot's front of pawn shop. He is where he is working. He is employed to be security guard. Security guard. There was a convenient leather whip available. There was a convenient second-hand whip available. The pawn shop. Him to use a way to deter and apprehend potential thieves. Alright, cool. Bien da. Fair enough. Bianzi. Interesting. Bien Pao. It kind of looks like a whip. Got you.
边鹤
Huh. Not much huh in that character. I see more of a what? A che. Che is the closest. The other one would be like Niao. Yeah. I'm largely the crown turkey. This is where the che is coming from right here. How many crown turkeys do we have? Hold up, let's go back and use the crown. Crown is kind of a weird one. Tossed in there. I think crown turkey is che only. So far. I'm pretty convinced it's crown turkey. Alright. So this is the second crown turkey. No counting of che. I was kind of hoping it stayed che. Is it the only crown turkey outside of that? Alright, so we have 2 crown turkeys. Interesting. The bird. And it's a bird, so neat. Harry Potter is in the bathroom of the electricity plant where there are a bunch of turkeys surrounding a special bird, a crane. They gobbled in reverence, so Harry uses his wand to create an electric crown that appears out of thin air. He goes over and crowns the crane and turkey. Turkey is kind of weak in general. In the electricity plant. Just make it whimsical. So Harry Potter is in the bathroom of a magical electricity plant. This plant he encountered a bunch of employees from the plant, which happens to be humanoid turkeys and humanoid birds that include aspects of turkeys and cranes. All wear distinctive crowns that identifies them as Our electricity. My input. One problem with this. Harry Potter is not quite in it. I guess it's whimsical enough. Yeah. Maybe like on a magical internship. Wouldn't be the first time with humanoid birds, I suppose. 仙鹤, red-crowned. Oh, crane. Oh, that's kind of cute. Get a picture of that. Yeah. Those guys. Oh, wait. Are they the same? No. Okay, they're heron-like. I'm like, that kind of reminds me of a heron. Okay. Fair enough.
Huh.
Yeah, you don't look like anything.
Hole.
Hole? You do look like hole. Another throat though. Okay. I started using prepare, right? That's what we're going with. Prepare. So there's hole to wait. Oh no, wait. And wasn't there prepare? Where is prepare? No, it's not. It was monkey. So we're like combining these. Okay. Harry Potter again. Okay. So Harry Potter is inside the bakery. We can combine all these. Bakery, where he is waiting on the orders. Where he is on a magical intern on making magic croissants. Sure. He is waiting on the word of mouth commands from the mouth of the monkey baker and his talking poodle companion. On some special pastries that also is tasty and also acts as a remedy for sore throats. Okay. Oh, Hou Long. Go throat. Sure. And then the other one? Yin Hou. Interesting. They went with, okay. Both. I don't, huh. Isn't there, there's more, I feel like there's one more throat somewhere. Oh, I might be thinking about neck. There's just 2 necks.
喉
Alright. Okay.
冠 边
This one's the worst
子
one. No contest.
喉
This is second.
鹤
Okay. Yeah, those 2 are rough. Alright, how much time do I have? We do have to do our level up. I want to start it sometime. So let's do all our characters first and then see how we feel.
虚
Excuse me.
壤 玉
Oh, I totally winged that one.
西 沙 棍 序 扭
Oh no. Huh.
辽
Dang it. What is that? The heck is this?
简 边 毛
Straw.
坝 狼
Why do I think it's knob? Because it is. Alright, something makes me want to type like Zhong, but I don't have a reason to think it is. Container of pepper. Oh, I think that's okay. No, we're in the neighborhood.
飞，泳，拧，
did I use peace? I did. Right. That's weak. That's very weak.
剑，
Oh boy. The top is supposed to remind me of. And you add the art. Something like
成，
I don't know.
剪，标，
What's like a twister? What's like a twister, but not a twister? Like a whirlwind. Like, what's like a twister, but not like a twister? It's fine. Good enough. Oh no. Bye. Goodbye.
呼，
Practice that.
在，虎，
Oh no, that's fun. Oh, fun. Oh, that's not bye. Huh. That felt gross. So Faber and Malco. No idea. Still.
架， 勺， 锤，
I don't think this is... Maybe? Oh no. It's separated by one radical.
翻
Oh goodness gracious. This is to try, right? Yeah, that's gonna be wild future. Huh. What? Oh, that's stretch. That's not. Fingers. I think that's... No. And chunk. Probably punish. Okay. Could simplify it. With Chung. Just... Where's Chung at? Oh no, wait. I might actually be thinking of... Oh no. It's different. By one radical. Oh, it's a spool of thread. It doesn't help. I don't have thread in it. Oh, I do. I'll come back to it. Could be king. Well, I can see why it's thread there. Hmm.
改 停
Why do I think it might be pool? Okay. Kidding. I have no idea.
玉
having a bit of a mix-up between rumor and explain.
玉
So many years. More is rough. Okay.
O
uh. Dang it, I kind of worked on this too. On again. I want to say...
烈
I also want to say... Oh no, I know what it is.
抡
And this one is probably live.
赖
Okay.
叫
Yo, what? Oh.
耳
I went straight for it. It's not it, though.
灭 科
What happened here? I have no idea. Oh, could this be? Oh no. Not good.
朗
Oh really?
零
That's weak. Yo, what?
否 续
Not sure.
正
Hang on. What? Okay, it is. Oh, did I type do or do? I might have did tone 3. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh no. Why does this... Okay. Not. Not. Okay. I think this needs help. We have... No, this needs help. Oh, dang it. Yeah, this needs... It doesn't help that it's also not the tone that I remember. Yo, what? Where does that cow come in? What the heck is that? Have no idea. But some part of me think it's... Oh no. Huh. Huh. Hmm.
吼
Let me make sure about this. Yeah, it's just incorrect. This is just not right. Oh.
饭
What are you? Speak to me. How are you not that?
读
Oh no, that's true.
E
Heck.
是 蹦
Where in the world do you get huh. Like, some part of me also want to type like Thai, but can't explain it.
心
And what happened here? This is duty, right? Oh. Oh no, it's not, because duty is handles. I swear it's like it's the break. Yeah, they, them. Yeah, it's fine. The one's okay. I retroactively do anything about this? I don't think so. Hmm. Doing the harm thing, right? Which is okay. So I think I'm gonna change this to harm. Yeah, we're gonna change this to harm. Have to adjust that. Oh man.
锤
I thought that was fine. It's not fine. I don't know. I want to type this. Okay. No dice.
Song.
Oh, it could be. Oh no, wait, I already tried. Sure. Yikes, we're changing sure. I mean, I know it's slow. We know it's slow, but I couldn't, like, for the life of me, I couldn't figure out what the read was. Okay. Like,遅い. This one kind of stinks.
玉 石
But where does the word come from?
Yao.
That one's rough. Very rough. This one's a bit disappointing. Oh, is it like toss? Is it?
头
Oh my gosh, it's toss or throw. That's pretty weak. And then we're changing this.
歌 谢
I'm having the person mixed up here. Right, because this is the auspicious. Is it because of the location? No, it is actually Rui. I think it's my only Rui. What is Rui? That's why I don't want to type Rui. There's no other Rui. Oh no, there's gonna be one. Oh, there's gonna be a couple in the future. Okay. Yeah. All right. This one's fine. Which was what auspicious?
瑞
Rui. Oh, not Rui. 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 Right. That's right. Rui. At first, I thought it would have been the Yao. You're doing the lap. Maybe it's Hmm.
略 资
That was a weak one from yesterday too. Occurring. Oh wait, this is Cho.
筹
That was a weak one from yesterday as well. Alright, so we cleared the characters. Maybe we do a couple. What time is it? It's 3. I think I should move from this to get our level up day in Wanikani because it's gonna take like 3 hours. So let's go and do that. As long as we clear the characters, that's bonus. Clearing the characters is bonus. Alright. I got 3 sketchy ones, and then there were quite a lot in the middle of that. It's like, pretty meh. Okay. All right. Tasting. 交业冠边词 weakest one. All. And then the second week is I can't read you. A new character, I can't read the new character. It's too small. Too small. But it's to add fuel to the fire. Oh. Oh no, not the newest character actually. 推波助助澜 Lan is the newest character. J Bei Trey, not J. Trey. Trey Bei. Bei Wei. For sure. I've forgotten how to sigh both ways. I can't see it properly. So 唉声叹气。枪到。Okay. 前缀。茶。Dan is kind of weak. 简单。风什么？风梨糕？那是风梨。风梨酥。次见。鸭加。北韩。Okie dokie. So got Jimmy with the Gymster in front of the barn. A mission to build a tower. a tower. So for the barn, and of course he had a great idea. He made it into an attractive woman that was less than practical. Okay. Yugi bathroom. Yugi bathroom. Preparing a bunch of things. He's preparing some award. So in a clay pot. Got how to clay pot it. Bit like this. Oh. I want to say that's how the clay pot works. Dang it! Wait. I missed a stroke. And I crossed the stroke. Clay pot. Plucked a bit of his hair. Used a wooden spoon to stir it carefully, right? Has a ward against depression. Whoops. On his next outing. Add a pinch of salt on the salt shaker, but this is modified. It has a crown and a pit salt shaker. Yeah, so that's kind of how we have to remember it. Okay, one. We have Goofy working, taking a break at the pawn shop, in the bathroom. I don't know, encountered a stork customer, maybe. Stork, who basically just hand him a jar or a clay pot. Good enough, actually. So Bigfoot's front of pawn shop, being trusted to be a guard. I don't want. I just messed up the stroke order there. It's fine. Convenient. Secondhand leather whip. Right. Okay. Then we have Casper. Inside the house. Creating a special, I guess a special magnet using a stone and a ghost butterfly. How am I gonna remember that is beyond me. The ghost butterfly situation. Alright. Then we have Harry Puppers inside the same bakery once again. This time he's waiting on the word of mouth of the oops, it's a show. Words of the monkey, right? And Monkey Baker and his talking poodle. But what is he doing? Oh, on how to prepare this special pastry for the throat. Okay, now we have Harry Poppers again on the bathroom on a different type of intern. Only this time he's encountered a bunch of crown wearing birds. How do I bird it up? Birds, which happen to be cranes and turkeys. Okay. Alright, 3 things I wanna... I don't know how I'm gonna... Maybe I should write a thread about this. So we're talking about... That's not it. So po, or no. What? Yeah, po for cut open. It's not po. It's not po. It's po. But we're gonna remind ourselves that it's po. This is incorrect. And then g. Oh, is this g? I think I might have screwed 2 things up. And what is g if this is po? Po. This is po. Don't remember g. Is g. Come on. I can do this. Or not. Wait. It's not it, is it? No. No. It is. I got them mixed up. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. Oh, I see why they're kind of similar. G is, cut apart. Wow, that is a big coincidence. O and G, cut open and cut apart. Intriguing. Unexpected, intriguing. And Chu was very disappointing. Honestly, there aren't too many cow things. That top flag is a little bit girthy. True. Relate. Honestly, Ho and Ge being lumped together would be okay. And then I gotta change up some stuff though. But these two are gonna reinforce each other. Late. There's not much going on in late. Not that I'm aware of. Let's go and look at them. Oh yeah. It's listed under poll. I guess technically I could report this. How do you exit? All right. What do I do with mouth guard? You know, does mouth guard ever stand alone? It doesn't. It's the exception. Next to Boo. I'm always either baying or paying. Pay, unless it has flower. So I guess this is unless it has a saber. Patrick is in the basement of the bakery, where he is wearing a mouth guard in order to help cut open some boxes of ingredients. Wearing a mouth guard because he is competent. A saber. Not that a mouth guard going to help with cutting open things and protecting him from cutting himself. Okay. We're doing harm. It's still using the same logic though. Gandalf is in front of the electricity plant where he is trying to devise and stop the electricity plant crew from cutting apart the local forest. This can lead to harmful war, I don't know, the war between the tree folk and the plant workers. Offers an alternative to cutting apart the forest with their sabers, saving them from future harm on both sides. Okay. All right. Whoops. Charlie Brown inside a house waiting on I don't know. He's waiting on his newfound he just Chicken flag. Waiting excitedly for his newfound friend, our friend. Placed a flag outside that it will be visible along the road. Hoping that will help Now arrive in time. All the snow flakes side. Which unfortunately a large snowstorm happening. Ultimately the cow was late, but still managed to make it. Okay. Alright. Better late than never. Oh, okay. And now we do our last thing of the day, which is usually the first thing of the day, is to do our Wanikani and our level up. Alright folks, that's a wrap for my HanziHero session today. If you're gonna watch this later, shit. As always, feel free to follow along, pick up HanziHero for yourself, give it a go, right? You're always welcome to come on by and yap. I had a digression about the scaling, right? Comparative analyses. That's, in my opinion, a fancy way to say comparing and contrasting are kind of two separate things nowadays. Comparing is, in my opinion, finding the differences in similar things, not finding dissimilar things. That's contrasting, right? However, whenever comparisons are made, it's typically both. And that's kind of what I like to emphasize here. I think being able to do both is very important for character reading, at least in my opinion. It kind of helps with not becoming complacent with one way of thinking. Having more than one way of thinking about things can greatly, in my opinion, significantly impact one's recall and output, possibly even retention, because you're triggering more than one route of looking at things, or your overlapping memories. Anyways, until next time, 大家下次见。感谢观看. See you guys next time. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna get up, stretch, take a quick bathroom break, and I will be back for Wanikani. Thank you.